Hello, I hope that you guys doing well. Today we are going to go over another assignment. Here in this project number 2, you see that we got multiple regression modeling, which is basically we're given a data set about used cars, and it's asking us to build a regression model to estimate the used car selling price, and we are required to use one or more interaction variable and one or more dummy variable. So when we download this data set and we plug it into Excel, I know that here it says that you have to get it done using the spreadsheets like on Google Sheet here, but I tried many ways, and then finally I figured that having an up-to-date Excel is the best way to take care of this. So here, as you can see, we got like different variables, and such as the price, and there are some like X range variables here, like mileage, make, model, trim, type, cylinder, and liter. But there are some dummy variables in here, which basically the difference is that when you have a dummy variable, it's either 0 or 1. So basically you have it or you don't, which in our data set example, it talks about like the car's cruise control. So it doesn't say like how many cruise controls or how many sound systems or anything like that. It just, the car just has it or doesn't have it at all. And that's what gonna like indicates if this thing is really important in terms of affecting the price. With knowing all this, when we get the spreadsheet, the first thing that we're gonna do, we have to come here in Excel to, if I can move my, okay. First, we have to come to Data tab up here, and then we choose Data Analysis. After we choose that, we have to find regression here. Then we choose OK. And for the first one, as you can see, I chose the price column, which is all the prices of these 805 used cars. And then for my variables here, which they're gonna indicate that if the price is gonna be affected by any of these variables, such as mileage, doors, letters, then the dummy variables here, which I'm gonna show you in a second. So we included cylinder, cruise, sound, letter, doors, and mileage as our X range. And the dummy variable here would be, could be the cruise control, which is like 1 and 0. So either it has it or not, or even the upscale sound system. So if it comes with a default sound system or something better than that, it's like 1 or 0, as you can see. Letter, same thing. So these are our dummy variables, which we have enough of them here. And as you can see, I put all these here in the X range, and the price column would go in the Y range. Then when you look at the output options, you can export the results in a new worksheet tab, but I was like, let's just do it here in the same worksheet so we have everything in one place. So I chose like Q, which is here, and starts from like Q1. Actually, it starts from Q1 because that 35 is just something that I was doing some experiments, but I chose like Q1, that cell, and as you can see, it starts from like Q1, and it gives us this statistics that when we come back to it to take a look, we'll see that we got our R squared. Down here, we got the components of our equation. Then by taking a look at T stat and P value, we can tell that they look all right. I'm not gonna say that like they're like super accurate here. And again, if you go back to example that we got, you see there are like 800 and more than 800 models of cars. So That's basically why we got like different like numbers here, which is not a problem because after we got all these things down and our significance is not super high, but still it's workable. We can just make it work. Down here, you see that I added my y. You can see that we generated this y hat formula, this equation, which is really easy. What basically we've done is that we multiply the coefficient to the x1, which is the mileage, and we did the same thing for the doors, letter, sound, which we get the number of the equation here and times the x1, x2. So we have this formula here, and at the end we're gonna add it to the first intercept, which is our price, of course, in our x range. And now that we got this formula, we can use it down here. And here, as you can see, we got all the characteristics here, like mileage, doors, letters, are variables, and the indicators that we are gonna use. And here, catalog and Buick and all the information they have. And in this cells, we're gonna add, like in these two cells, we're gonna add our y hat equation and replace the x's with the number of the cells. So for example, x1 here would be the mileage for catalog, which goes down here, Q29, that's the number of the cell. And we do the rest just like that, Q30, Q31, Q32, 33, 4, and we don't have 534, which comes down all the way here to cylinders, plus the X range, which is our price. And that's how we get, oh, oops, okay. And that's how we get this number. And I did the same thing for Buick, and we replaced the cell numbers with the X variables, and then we got this number, which basically what I've done here, I just use this like little like absolute value trick, which you can get in real life scenario, like you can get this number that would actually make sense because the price couldn't be negative, right? So here, as you can see, the 8-cylinder catalog with more options it's gonna end up in $29,428.88. And of course, the Buick, the 6-cylinder car that here, if we go back to the question, you can see that asking us to compare these two together, goes for the Buick goes for the less money, as you can see here. And this is how we did this forecasting using the that data set and getting the regression here using the data analysis tool pack. And then by using this number and generating our y hat formula, we were able to forecast and predict the selling price for these two particular models. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or concerns, you can just comment it down below. And don't forget to subscribe and like, and have a great time, everyone. Until the next video.